Okay, let me start. Hello for the fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Lucy Lee. I'm here to reveal the secret of our sounds. In Toastmasters, we have a role, our counter. As you've known, our counter is responsible for counting speakers' inappropriate interjections and filler sounds and report them to help speakers become fluent, right? However, if there is a specific reason to use ah sounds, in other words, if your ah sounds and repeated words have specific reasons to be altered, then would you still want to remove them? Today, I hope my speech could intrigue the change of your perspective about every single word of yours, even ah sounds. To figure out secret of our sounds, an analyzing tool named conversation analysis needs to be applied to data of conversation. This hardcore analyzing way is to trace the data of contingent conversation, which can be said data-driven and microanalytic. Conversation analysis typically follows a three-step processes. First, collecting data. Second, transcribing. And third, analyzing data. Here is the example of how CA is applied to conversational data. This conversation once occurred at Visual Master. At the time, I was leading a meeting as a Toastmaster, but I skipped the ton of evaluators reporting. I forgot that. Then the evaluator said to me, Lucy, you must hate me. Look at excerpt 1, which I transcribed the conversation. This is not a story about confessing love. At the first line, the evaluator might not want to point out Toastmaster's mistake directly. He instead implies what the Toastmaster missed by saying, Lucy, you must hate me, which sounds fun and playfully. After the evaluator's report, at line number 5, the Toastmaster says, you should remember how much I like you. Here, the Toastmaster tries to show her sorriness. The Toastmaster implies she wouldn't try to miss the evaluator's tone afterward, which is kind of promise. This is the simple way of tracing a conversational exchange. Human conversation keeps responding, telling choices between communication partners. According to my professor Yuan Lee, conversation analysis manifests the choices of participants in conversation and aspects of conversation to focus on, and even how problems of conversation are occurred. Let's talk back to the secret of our sounds. I found out the function of my R sounds while conducting an experiment in a school project. I carried out a regular improvised speech act for 3 months. Each speech act takes 5 minutes. It was a monologue type of improvised storytelling. I recorded all my speeches and transcribed the first speech and the last speech. I record a part of my speech I record a part of my first speech, except 100, and call another part of my second speech, excerpt 200. I compare the two data and figure out some significant findings. One notable among them is the change of my R sounds. In my first speech, R sounds are just altered as my struggling to think of the next tone. Let's see line 32 in excerpt 100. I said, I feel really blue and I feel really offended. That's so bad. On the other hand, my R sounds in excerpt 200 has some functional changes. Let's look at the excerpt 200. I will give you a minute to look through my second speech data. I'd like you to search your difference in uttering R sounds. In the line 49, I said, so all that happened on Monday and last Saturday I got past the second level of contest. Here, so all is designed to add information and build a new tone. On the other hand, an "a" at the same line ends the previous topic and it's followed by the next topic. The feature is also found in line 55. I said, and last week I reviewed my speech session, and here ends the previous tone and helps to move to the next topic. That is to say, "o" or "a" sounds in Excel 200 is analyzed as a tone construction unit, which is to contingently connect two different topics. It seems like "a" sounds are choosing it seems like "a" sounds are closing the door and opening the door in conversation. The CA shows that the "a" sounds have functional reasons of my speech. First, to add information. Second, to end the previous tone. And third, to tie two different topics. Lastly, I'd like to ask the same question again. Do you still want to remove your filler sounds? Thank you very much.